Hello everyone, hello ACES, and hello to our teachers and students who are doing their Module 2 in the new normal education. Now, for this particular video, we already uploaded the videos in English 7 and English 8. Now, we'll be talking about using conditionals and expressing arguments for the English 9. Now, we highlighted here the term conditionals. So when we say the word conditionals, what would be the particular word that first come to your mind as we speak about this? Sometimes we can say it's about conditions of why, the if, and the cause and effect that we may possibly associate with the word conditionals. Now, when we say conditionals, as we can see on this particular video, if it rains, that would be the condition, and the result, I'll stay at home. Now, result may vary depending on the personality of the individual or on their possible answer. Now, in terms of the conditional, we always have the condition, of course, and the result. Now, conditionals depend on how real or possible the situation is in the eyes of the speaker. Sometimes we should need to understand how real they are, how possible they are. Now, in this particular slide, to begin, examine these conditional sentences and their functions. What do the sentences have in common? The first example would be, if water reaches 212 degrees Fahrenheit or 100 degrees Celsius, it boils. This would be fact. If water reaches 212 Fahrenheit or equivalent to 100 Celsius, it will boil. If I were you, I wouldn't waste money buying junk food. This would be giving advice. If I were you, I wouldn't waste money buying junk food, because you are just giving advice to someone. It also depending upon them if they will accept that or not. We also have here, she will pass the class if she studies and does her homework. Talking about the future. Now, that's why we will point here, will pass, it will be in the future tense. You would have caught the bus if you had woken up 15 minutes earlier. It's analyzing the past. You have here would have caught. The verb, always agree on the tense, of course. If it is on the analyzing the past, if it is talking about the future, if it's currently happening. If Maria was president, she would pass more laws to protect the environment. It's about talking a hypothetical solution. Another one would be, although these sentences perform different functions, they share a common feature. All conditionals include the cause and effect relationship. The cause part of each sentence describes a condition or situation. I repeat, all of the sentences perform different functions. It can be in advice, it can be facts, it can be analyzing the past, or it can be foreseeing the future, or even creating a hypothetical description. They vary when it comes on their description, but all conditionals include a cause and effect relationship. The cause part of the sentence describes the condition or the situation. Take note of that. In conditional sentences, the cause part is tantamount or equivalent to the word condition or situation. Now, this part of a conditional is called the condition clause, and usually begins with the word if or an equivalent phrase like as long as or in the event that. Take note, the condition clause always begin with the word if. Now, to continue, this part of conditional is called the condition clause, as I have mentioned, the word if. Now, the effect part of the conditional is called the result clause, which explains an outcome that is dependent on the condition described in the other part of the sentence. The effect part is known as the result clause, or the outcome depending on the condition described in the sentence. Now, let's try to analyze this statement. If you mix red paint and blue paint together, you get purple paint. The condition clause cause plus the result cause effect. Now, the phrase or the statement in the red is the condition clause or the cause, and the red and the green statement would be for the result clause or the effect. Now, let us examine this sentence. She will pass the class if she studies and does her homework. If she studies and does her homework, she will pass the class. Notice that if the condition clause comes first, it is followed by a comma. A comma is not needed when the result clause is first in the condition sentence. Now, if we try to explain on the sentence A, she will pass the class if she studies and does her homework. Then, for the sentence B, if she studies and does her homework, she will pass the class. We have the rule here that if the condition clause comes first, it will always be followed by a comma. Like for an example, in the sentence B, we have the if or the condition clause in the beginning, then it should be followed by comma, then the result clause. But if we started with the result clause like here in the statement letter A, there is no need for the comma, but instead we will be using the conjunction and. In general, conditionals are extremely important in the English language because they help us express things that may happen in the present and future. Conditionals serve many purposes and take several different forms. They can be used to give advice, express regret, discuss facts, and among other things. A type 1 conditional is a possible situation which could happen. We use type 1 conditionals to express realistic situations, plans, and things that are very likely to happen if we do something. Unlike the previous example, a type 1 conditional uses will instead of would. Usually this conditional uses present tense verb in both clauses too. Now we have here an example. If I eat all the chocolate, I will feel sick tomorrow. If I eat all the chocolate, I will feel sick tomorrow. Now let us try to practice. Match column A with column B to form conditional sentences correctly. Write only the letter of the correct answer. Do this on your answer sheet. We have on the column A, number 1, I will call you. Number 2, if you wash the clothes. Number 3, you will make Dad very happy. Number 4, if it doesn't stop raining. And number 5, June won't be tired. For the column B, I will try them. Letter B, we won't be able to go out. Letter C, if I arrive before you. Letter D, if you will pass your English class. And letter E, if he goes to bed soon. Now you just need to connect the column A and column B with the correct form of conditional sentences. Take note, if the given is the conditional clause, you need to identify the result clause. And if the given is result clause, you need to identify the conditional clause. For number 1, I will call you. That would be the answer for letter C. Number 2, if you wash the clothes, that would be letter A. Number 3, you will make Dad very happy. That would be letter D. And number 4, if it doesn't stop raining, the answer would be on letter B. And number 5, June won't be tired. The answer would be letter E. Now for another practice, pick the correct form of the verb inside the parentheses that will best complete each sentence. Write your answers on your answer sheet. You can pause the video if you actually need a sufficient time while doing this activity. Number 1, June will water the garden if he comes or will come home. The answer would be comes. This will be a type 1 conditional sentence. We will buy our tickets if we blank enough money. Have. Number 3, we'll be late for the show unless you blank hurry. And number 4, I will take an umbrella if it rains. I will take. Number 5, if it blank a nice day tomorrow, we'll go for a bike ride. It's a nice day tomorrow, we'll go for a bike ride. Is would be the correct answer for number 5. If you try to analyze, if we have here the will or the future tense, then we only need the present tense here. If you already have here the present tense form, future and the present tense, we have already here, and another one. You need to analyze first the conditional clause and the result clause. Now there you have it, our video presentation for the English 9 for the module 2, based on the most essential learning competencies. Happy learning everyone. Sulong Edu Kalidad.